All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Appreciate everybody joining in wherever you're watching. If you're new to this show, this is how it works. I'm standing here in front of this giant digital desk. I'm here in the newsroom at Fox 12 Oregon. And right now, we're going to talk about the Blazers. Yes, everything going on with the Blazers. Particularly today, there's the announcement that a G League team is going to be added into the mix for them. But we've got some other things to cover too, so I'm sure everybody has their opinions. But the opinion I want to hear right now is none other than our own Nick Krupke, who is joining us. Nick, thank you for being here. First time on Fox 12 Now. Appreciate that. To start off, let's talk about this G League acquisition and what do you think that actually means? Is this something that's actually important for the Blazers, or is it kind of that's nice, but what's it going to do for them?
Basically what you just said. Yeah, it's nice. What is it going to do for them? So many teams in the NBA have had it and they've tried for years. There was talk of, the connections with the Boise and stuff, but to have it in your own backyard, to have it at UP up at the Child Center, there's a great facility there that, hopefully the tickets are cheap if they're not be given away for free, buy a popcorn that you can maybe take kids and grandma and grandma can go out and maybe see a future Blazer. I mean, not many guys in the G League actually make it, but you're looking at a guy like Drew Eubanks out of Troutdale, of course, into Oregon State, really G League with San Antonio and played there until the Blazers picked him up. But he's a success story out of the G League. And, you could say that certainly Drew was their best center at 6'9" all of last season, as miserable as last year was. So yeah, it's cool. It's something to do. It's going to run like September. I think I saw Paulina story that'll be on TV tonight, Paulina Aguilar, and talked out with Dwayne Hankins there at the Moda Center. And it ultimately, yeah, it's good. You can stash more talent away and have a place to put a guy. And if you don't have a roster spot, well, now you got a place to go and you can farm them out in your own backyard. And I'm not sure if they can work out in the same facility. I'm assuming they can, but I don't know the rules on that quite yet. But yeah, that's a good thing, because then if you don't have a roster spot for a guy, instead of saying, hey, we can't keep this guy around, now you can keep that 19, 20, 20-year-old, 7'2" project that you don't have a spot for, and you can work with them and develop them, and then maybe one day they'll pay off for you.
Right. So, I mean, I guess that's a good point. They probably farming it out to other leagues or other teams, their own G League affiliates, maybe that could have affected some of that talent that maybe we lost. So, yeah, I think that's a really good point, though. I mean, maybe a future dunk, champion coming out of it.
Maybe. Right. We're not talking about like all-star player, but if you can get a rotational piece out of that, right, like a guy like Drew Eubanks, then more power to you for sure.
Well, talking about the roster and just where we're at and what a season this was with them, and going here into the offseason, Dame's made it clear that they need to do something, and rebuilding through the draft is not going to be it for him, that he doesn't want to do that. But, with the draft, there is the number one pick with Wembanyama, who could be, that potential guy that comes along every 10, 15 years or so, that generational talent. If they get that number one pick, I think obviously you would have to draft him. But I wonder what that would do for Dame, if that would be enough.
I think Dame would be fine with that kind of 19-year-old kid coming in here. They got a 10.5% chance of landing that number one pick in the lottery on a couple Tuesdays from now, May 16th, which could happen. Unlikely, but could happen. If not, maybe you got a 30% chance of being top three, and then they're probably locked into that 5 spot, which then you're looking at a kid that played 1 year in college, right? As good as Shaedon Sharpe was this year, he's not an all-star level player yet. As fun as he was, he's not a leader yet. Dame needs a guy, okay? So if it isn't going to be Wembanyama, they're going to have number one pick, maybe Victor coming in here, what are you going to do? Well, I think then you got to probably package that and the pick they got from the Knicks as well. That's 2 first-round picks you can use and deal out. Maybe that's a way you can get Nurkic's contract off your books. You got to get a real talent, like a real bona fide all-star player. I'm sure we'll talk about Jeremy Grant, who's up for a contract they brought in. That was a big piece last offseason. And certainly a great player, all-star player. I don't think we saw that. I mean, he had his chance to be the number 2 guy. Good player. Yeah. Not to that caliber that you're going to have to break the bank for. And he turned down their qualifying offer. So now he's going to go out and go into the market. And you know what that's like, a team that's like Orlando or Dallas, just going to spend a bunch of money. And then are you going to try to match that or not? And if you don't, well, then you kind of lost last off season too. And then what does Dame think about that? So, I mean, nobody wants to talk about trading Dame, all right? But if they're not going to be able to bring in real talent to help him, what's the point? Yeah. He's a great guy, great for the community, all that stuff. He also deserves to win. These fans deserve to have a win. That's 2 years in a row that they've just kicked the can down the road. Last year, okay, he gets the what was it like before the All-Star break? He has the core surgery, came back better than ever.
Yeah,
Yet
he was killing it.
still down the road, they're tanking that last month of the season. You're still paying full price for beers and for tickets to go to the game. Hey, by the way, you get season tickets for next year. What does that prove to anybody?
Right.
There's bigger questions for this franchise than just how they're going to work the draft or what do they do with Dame. Who's going to own this team? How long is Jody going to hold on to this thing? Once the NBA's TV contract comes up in 24, 25, expansion comes down the road, who's going to own this team to put them on the right, proper path to actually win again and truly win, okay? Not just try to win at the bottom line and not lose money luxury tax, but truly try to win for these fans that certainly deserve it around here.
That's what today with that announcement, because we knew that there was going to be an announcement from him. In the back of my mind, I was hoping it was that she had sold the team to Phil Knight or somebody else. Like that was what it was going to be. That was a pipe dream. But yeah, with Jody Allen, I mean, over and over, she has said that, the intention, and I believe she has to, if I understand correctly through the trust, like eventually divest her interest in them in the Seahawks. But when is that going to happen? Because by all reports, it doesn't seem like she's very involved in what's going on. It doesn't seem like she wants to spend the money like Paul would have to put a team around Dame, which you probably do have to go, over the cap to really make that happen, to make it happen here in Portland. Like, is this even possible to build a team around Dame with her?
I don't think so. And the same question they're asking in Seattle with the Seahawks as well. She's got to sell both of them. And look at what these teams are going for now. We're talking $4 billion for an NBA team. An NFL team is going to be $8 billion, $10 billion when they're under contract too. So she has no reason to rush. She just can wait around and see what these evaluations are going to be and then go, okay, let's cash out. Because what they're trying to do, of course, they sold out a lot of his property and a lot of his investments, a lot of his art, his yachts, his homes and whatnot. The teams come last and all they're doing is making money. So what's the rush on getting rid of it when they can pour it in and whatever they're going to do with the Paul Allen Foundation? It's all about being able to get what's theirs and give back as well. But it's hard to see the Blazers and truly the Seahawks too, as well. They're in the same boat together. Short-term success until we know the long-term picture of who's going to run these teams. And you mentioned Phil, boy, who else would be better around here to do that, and I know that they had a little statement that, at the time, that ain't going to happen. Okay, well, so they're trying to see who the highest bidder is going to be. And again, there's no rush on that. But man alive, it'd be nice to see something like that happen. But no, instead you get an announcement about a G League team. So don't get too excited, Nibbler.
I know, right? And we don't even get a name for the G League team yet. But
wouldn't it just be the G League Blazers?
Probably. It'll probably be something boring like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Can we get Doug Fur up there?
Right.
The trial center?
Oh, no. I don't even want to get started.
Oh, no.
Real quick, going back to the Jeremy Grant thing, because you mentioned that, and that is true. Like, he's going to go for so much money because somebody's going to pay that some high dollar amount. I don't know what he's going to get, $28 million a year or something. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody throws that out, and that completely hampers you. But then without him, what do you have? So now it kind of seems like really a lot hinges just on that alone, just on Jeremy Grant, regardless of the draft, regardless of even
rich
the
teams.
number 1 pick.
Yeah, they could go pay that, and he could go be their number 3, number 4, number 5 best player. But if you're going to pay him to be Dame's running mate, who else are you bringing in though? You need a bona fide all-star player. That's why it didn't work out with CJ. They paid him so much money. Nice guy, great shooter, couldn't play a lick of defense, of course.
Yeah.
They miss him in some ways, and in other ways not, because you don't have that contract again. There's only so much money you're going to pay. Certainly if you're not going to go on a luxury tax. You need to have somebody, if you're going to pay that money, to be a dominant force. Good guy, loves it here, born here, of course, Harvey Grant's kid, but I don't think you break the bank for that if you don't have a true path forward. And we'll find out again soon enough here with the lottery coming up in a couple of weeks and then the actual draft in June for sure.
Yeah, well, a lot to follow along with to see what happens here, over the next couple of months, especially to see where the Blazers go. I don't know. It's not looking good to me like Dame is going to be here, but I still have hope. I'm a constant Blazers fan, so there's always hope.
We can always have hope, and we'll get excited and gear it on up when media day rolls around in September, October, and training camp.
Yeah.
But by then we will know. All right.
Yeah.
We will know by July what are they going to look like, what do they have, and what are they dealing with, and then maybe at that point, I mean, I'm not sure if you watched the end of the season exit interviews after that last game. If they lost by a ridiculous amount of points, of course, playing a bunch of G League guys they called up to go play that last game. That's the first time Dame's really been like, yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Right? We'll see. They got to prove it, right? They've had this plan. Okay, they won't say they've tanked. Okay, they've tanked. They pulled out Shaden last year, and Shaden will be hopefully fantastic in a couple of years. Can't do that again. Can't rely on a 19-year-old again to help Dame win. So maybe, who knows, if they do end up getting that pick, if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, then does he say, all right, I'm out. It ain't for me. Time to go.
I mean, even his demeanor just there, and then also showing up to a Nets game, which just seemed kind of odd for Dame. I don't think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a big deal. I mean, I think that's the thing that gets clicks. You know, Bleacher Report puts an article out there, and you go, "Oh, geez, he's with the Nets."
Photoshops.
Maybe he's a guy out there in New York doing business as he likes to do with his insole shoes and Adidas, and wants to see a playoff game because he hasn't been a part of one in more than 2 years now.
Yeah, that's his.
And
only
maybe put
look.
a little bit of heat on Joe and say, "Hey, Joe, I'm out here seeing my buddies in Brooklyn. What are you gonna do?"
Yeah. Well, hopefully it does something. I don't know. We'll have to find out. But
by the way, short sleeve shirts today in the office. How about that?
I know. I don't know why I have a long sleeve shirt. I definitely.
You're rolling them up. I see you're rolling them up.
Yeah, that's it. There, yeah, at least rolled up. But I haven't cut the sleeve off yet. I don't think
we're on our way to a baseball field at Union High School in Vancouver, so I had to get.
Oh, I just got approval. I can cut my sleeves off. So okay, Jack just said it's all right.
That's cool.
All right. Well, Nick, thank you very much for taking some time. I know you're super busy. You always have so much going on. Appreciate your input. We got to do this again soon.
Nibbler, welcome to the team on Fox 12.
Thanks.
You come on upstairs to the second floor and visit the sports office here.
All right, okay? I will. If I'm allowed upstairs, I'll come up there. All right.
Please do. Nobody knows where we are.
All right. All right. Nick Krupke joining us right here for Fox 12 Now. So thanks everybody for watching. And again, this is our digital desk. This is Fox 12 Now is the show that we're calling this. And, we'll be on a lot, bringing you all kinds of in-depth interviews, all kinds of different things. It's across the board. If you have something that you want to hear more about or you want to talk about, you can always hit me up and maybe we can set something up about that and go more in depth with some of these stories that you get to see on all of our great news programs and more. So I think that's it for today, though. That's a lot of Blazers talk that we just covered right there. And the bottom line is, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But we always have hope. All right. Well, that's it for today. Again, I'll see you tomorrow right back here. I'm Greg Nibbler for Fox 12 Now.